We saw Trump try to overturn an election.
Slightly
Awful
changed
violence.
colors? He's thrown up Nazi salutes. He didn't slightly change
He didn't
colors.
throw up
I know he
a
did.
Nazi
He
salute.
watched it. I'm not a Nazi apologist.
Let's hop into a heated panel on Piers Morgan debating some of the recent goals from the Trump administration, everything from his chaotic tariff plan to some of the other recent announcements he's had. So leave us a like on this video, helps us out a ton, helps the channel grow, and let's jump right into it.
Every economic theory says this will be unsuccessful. It will result in an expensive trade war in which no one will win. Trump believes that the United States will win because we will start to buy products made by Americans. There'll be more blue-collar factory jobs for Americans, and that is what he wants to return to. So he doesn't care if a customer is going to buy a Range Rover and the price of the Range Rover is now 25% higher. He hopes that will happen. That way the customer buys a Cadillac made in Michigan. That's his gamble. That's his roll of the dice. It's a huge risk.
Here's the big problem with that idea or justification for the Trump tariffs. Trump is doing blanket tariffs on things like steel as well, which only hurts our ability to manufacture things like cars. It raises the prices for us to do so while also typically costing jobs as factories are going to lay off workers to kind of mitigate the loss in profits. These tariffs are so excessive that if that were the point, as this gentleman is saying, then they would be self-defeating. But I think more or less they're just something Trump knows he can threaten, he can implement, he can walk back whenever he wants without Congress, without anything else. And he can use them as a way to play strongman where he's threatening our allies without really ever having to do anything, which is sickening that he's willing to do so for hypothetical political points when the people being affected the most are like our farmers, our blue-collar middle-class workers, and rural voters who largely support Republicans.
You're right when Trump does something. But remember, we saw Trump try to overturn an election, use nefarious and illegal means to try to overturn an election, right? So we've seen him take action to subvert constitutional law and American norms. We've seen him do that. That's the first thing. So when he's not just,
he wasn't successful though.
He wasn't successful
and
because
should
the
it happen
system
again?
held, but not because he didn't
should
try.
Should it happen again though?
Okay, the system held, not because
and
he didn't try.
Should he try again?
The "but it didn't work" argument is maybe the weirdest one for me, because that logic would say that attempted murder is also fine as long as you fail. But this gentleman is spot on in what he's saying. Trump not only tried to circumvent our democratic process, the Constitution, our law, I mean, the list goes on, in his attempt to steal a free and fair election, but he then used that to fast-track fascism by projecting it onto Democrats, using it to lower trust in institutions. That way his followers only believe what he says, and then red states use it as the justification to put forth voting laws and these tricks to disenfranchise voters. Gerrymandering was ramped up. Again, all predicated on Trump's lies about the election. So not only will he burn our American norms, our democratic processes, but he will then further erode them for his own personal gain if he can.
Elon Musk was the hero, but because politically he slightly changed colors, they are now using violence and really
He slightly
awful
changed
violence.
colors? He's thrown up Nazi salutes. He didn't slightly change colors.
He didn't throw up a Nazi salute, and you know he didn't, right?
I know he did.
Nazi salute.
Watched it. I'm not a Nazi apologist. You do you.
It was not a Nazi salute. Why would he throw a Nazi salute?
Because he's a white supremacist.
He's not a white supremacist.
Why would he campaign for the AfD in Germany? Why would he do that? Why would he continue to talk about the great replacement theory and birth rates among white people being too low in a
But he's right. He's right about birth rates. He's right about birth rates.
Yeah, like I said, that's you do you. It's not me.
Well, it's not about doing me. He's right about global birth rates are plummeting, and that is extremely dangerous for the future of the world.
Bang on. I love Jesse Dolamore. No reason to pull punches with these people anymore. Be honest about who they are unashamedly, right? Like, Elon Musk is not right about birth rates. I don't know why Piers is going along with the dog whistle. And the focus on how white populations are dying out is a dog whistle to demographic replacement, the great replacement theory, something Elon has openly echoed as well, which is a neo-Nazi theory. He campaigned for the far-right Nazi apologist party, the AfD in Germany. He then threw up a clear as day Nazi salute twice, mind you, where to this day he has never once publicly said, no, that was not a Nazi salute. Why would he? It was. It's really simple. If anyone ever starts talking about the survival of the white race or protecting Western civilization, they're always talking about white supremacy, about the idea that whites are the majority and the superior race and to be held above all others. It's where things like white fright stems from, which is what Elon does. It's what Trump does, what they stir up to create this divide and to be more solidified in their position of power, where culturally, even if people disagree with your economic policy, whatever, culturally, they're so intertwined with this white supremacy or white supremacist ideology that they're not going to differ from you. And you see it in them attacking ethnic holidays, ethnic culture, ethnic history, anti-discrimination methods. It's why they attacked affirmative action. At this point, they're no longer even trying to hide that. They're in power and openly enacting this as their agenda.